most of the majority of the people of our country are illiterate. We are illiterate. And that is the problem, Julia, my dear. That's the biggest problem. And they know that. And that is why they will get a whole watachukua lori waende kufanya roadshow. Wakuje wakuambie ujinga kabisa. Na kwa sababu you're so illiterate, you're not understanding what is happening, then you agree with it. And you will even defend it when it's not okay. Today, ongea na mtu wa UDA hata kama anaumwa, hana chakula kwake, atakwambia Ruto is the best president they've ever had. Na sasa hiyo hata hawezi nunulia mtoto wake chakula. Babu yake amenyang'anywa hata pesa ile alikuwa anapata ya wazee. But because people are so illiterate, there's a problem. Na hiyo ndio ukweli. Is the illiteracy. Is a thing that today no one talks about. Superhighway, infrastructure. Watu wanaongea saizi juu ya 500. Julia, badala ujue Thika Highway, venye Kibaki alieka Thika Highway, inakutoa kutoka Murang'a, inakuleta wapi kuja kuuza nyanya zako asubuhi, unamaliza by 8 usharudi kwenda kuangalia mtoto nyumbani. Traffic na kila kitu, but the illiteracy and the stupidity of Kenyans is what is really actually making people like Naruto anawachezea. That anaweza waletea criminal, mtu ametoka kuua mtu na waeke hapo, what are you gonna do? Mtadu? Cause hata constitution, hata mjui constitution inasemanga nini. Hata chapter 6 hakuna mtu ashaisoma chapter 6 ya constitution that mtu afai hata ku run for that government, for even an elective seat. Ukiwa uko na shida ushei wa mtu ama ushei kuwa accused of something, today you have people wanaenda jela, walikuwa wanaenda time ya Uhuru. Today you have a judge mwenye alikuwa Uhuru alikuwa amekataa because of his corruption cases. Mchelule running the same akijaribu kuambia ati yeye ndio ana run the nini of the four Cherera, yet huo ni mtu alikuwa already ameumwa na kabisa. Uhuru alikataa kumweka because Uhuru is not afraid of Ruto. Raila has never been afraid of anyone. But the rest of the country, the rest of the leaders are afraid of Ruto. Julia, sorry, I hope you don't kick me out, but I wanted to say that because it's the hard truth. Na anafanya Wakikuyu, Wakalenjin, watu wanze hata kujua kuna Wakikuyu na kuna Wakalenjin, na watu wa Sawata country kuna watu wengine. We almost had a secession. And it might come back again. Because the other tribes might just get rid of it. And Julia is the reason I come here and say I am happy because of our country, because we are more united now that than we've ever had. We have the Kikuyus, we have the Kalenjins, and then the rest of the tribes that have always been there with us in this fight that we are fighting. Julia, you're here. Oji Danganya, you are a Kikuyu. We've seen Kalenjins come here. But you agree with us. the rest of the country. And we have to be one country. And we're not going to let Ruto to separate. Because you are my sister, you will always be my sister. And even the Kalenjins. So Julia, pole, hapo nimeenda vibaya, nimeruka kidogo. So I'm going to let you run the rest of the show. I'm going to listen. I'm going to be here. I'm going to take a second part of it because nimekuja hard on that one. It's something that I've wanted to say for a long time. So I know nitagongwa kidogo, but it's fine. So Julia, you're running the show.
Umeenda wapi Ndeto na mimi natoka kidogo?
Hapana, usitoke. Last time uliniambia unaenda kupika chai na huku niletea chai.
Hakuna mtu kutoka, mukitoka tunatoka.
I just leave and come back. Then I went and then I came back because somebody started annoying me. Somebody called. Anaitwa nani huyu?
Nani?
Huyu anaitwa nani Ndeto? Huyu alikuwa hapa jana.
Ilikuwa ni nani? Mimi nilikuwa nangojea chai uende uniletee chai. Uliniambia
yeah, that man who was talking about Kebaki and saying Kebaki is a killer. Unakumbuka ni nani huyo?
Yeah, I remember that.
I forget his name.
Nitakwambia, yeah, I forget.
Alinirudisha. Sasa nikasema huyu simwachi. Lakini tunaona Michael was saying a good thing, and Michael, you are trying to tell us that these people did not even understand what is bottoms up. Yeah. Hawakuelewa kabisa. But I don't think it is understanding Michael. They had no intentions of changing the lives of Kenyans. The intention was looting, and that is what they are doing with this hustler fund. Hii pesa utasikia watu walisamehewa, mutasikia ati tulipea watu pesa na wakurudisha, na sisi tunapenda wananchi, tumewasamehe. It is because they will have stolen this money. That is what they will have done. Maggie, say something before we bring in Stone PK.
Stone PK, habari yako? No, I don't have. Let Stone PK take my place.
Salama ndugu zangu na dada zangu, hamjambo?
Hatujambo.
Asante Julia, you want me to say something?
Say anything that you want to say on the Ruto. Are we going? Somebody is saying that 100 days of Ruto administration, hell on earth. I think, are we already in hell? I mean, Mr. Kikwenda hell.
Okay.
Talk about that.
Thank you so much. I said when I've been listening as I was moving around. I'm in a bit tight situation, but I said I think we need to really bring back everything to the track. Nilisema tunajaribu kuwa distracted as usual, not to focus on the ball. The ball is that mwizi alichukua uongozi wa Kenya. Tusianze debate za kina Shalin, those are non-entities. Recho, hiyo ni useless to us. Does that then matter whether Recho amepigwa, hajapigwa? You know, now when you discuss about Recho, discuss about Shalin, you are trying to window dress the integrity of Ruto, as if Ruto has any iota of integrity. Ruto is a thug. He beats the wife, it is known. He doesn't respect women, it is known. It is common. Hata mtoto wa nursery anajua, this man does not respect anything about women. All what he needs is to go with them to room 350 and do what others do. That is who he is. And it is his upbringing. It is his background. That's what they believe in from wherever he comes from. You see, for me, I don't reserve myself. I don't apologize like Brother Ndeto. Anaongea, anaweka step 10 mbele, anarudi 20 nyuma. Apologizing for the truth. My friend Ndeto, you have to be principled. What you are saying is truth. Don't apologize for it. Whoever doesn't like it can hang. That's what my dad used to tell me. I tell you the truth. Kama upendi, meza wembe. Ukipenda, ichukue. So the truth of the matter is these guys have no background of women respect. Hana hiyo. Ruto hajawahi kurespect mwanamke yoyote. The man, any man who lifts a hand to slap a woman, hata akiwa ni pope leo, that reduces your dignity to zero. You start again. You start afresh. You confess, unapiga magoti, then we try to cleanse you. You don't beat a lesser. Women were provided to us by God. Hata ikiwa unafuata hiyo Biblia anasema, for him is not a Bible, it's rubbish. Yeah? Anyone who believes in the Bible will never lift a hand to slap a woman. Si ndio? Na hakuna mtu atasikia ati a woman is superior than me, because hiyo superiority inatoka wapi?
PK amesema, if you don't like what you say, you can go jump into the lake. if you kama hupendi chenye PK anasema,
dakika kidogo tu naja.
Kama hupendi chenye PK anasema, you cannot go jump into the lake. PK is telling us, actually, I mean, I think things should be put in black and white. And really like what Michael was saying, can we find the Orengos? Okay, I don't know what have happened to Orengo. Can we find the Imanyara, the Moites? Can we find another baba? Mimi nataka kuuliza maswali. Na Michael ataniambia. Michael niambie, tutatoa wapi baba mwingine kama Raila? Tutamtoa wapi? Matiba went. Matiba is late. We had a Matiba. That was a daredevil. We had the Rubias. We had the Imanyaras. I mean, we have Mother Karua, and many foolish Mount Kenya people don't like Mother Karua. Mother Karua is equal to more than 10 men. You know?
Hey, Nani, let me ask you. We not ask you. I want you. We also had that lady that actually did the infrastructure. Not the infrastructure. The forestry and everything. What was that?
Wangari Maathai, the Nobel
Wangari
Prize.
Maathai. Thank you.
She's a Nobel Prize winner. I mean, we had people walikuwa na msimamo. Lakini Michael, let me tell you something. Me, I'm here. I don't support Baba because he's my tribesman. I just believe in his principles, period. And also, Baba was working with Mother, period. And somebody asked, some people, okay, somebody is reminding the person was Muzarendo. Thank you, Sarah. It was Muzarendo who was trying to annoy me last night, talking nonsense about Kibaki, and I couldn't let him get away with it because he came here making allegations that Kibaki killed people in 2007 when you know who was taken to Hague in 2007 for killings. Now, not go back to that. Now, I was okay with I'm okay with Baba's principles and Mother's principles, but going beyond that, Kenyans, Baba promised several things. Baba promised 6,000 shillings to 2 million families in Kenya who cannot put bread on their table. Now, Baba promised free education. Baba promised that we were going to have one county, one product. Now, and that was going to create jobs for our young people. Baba talked about the young people and how he was going to make sure they are certified at their skills. Now, if Baba only, you see, kama Baba angekuwa president, Ndeto, Michael, Stone, and Maggie, saizi the first thing tungemuuliza, saizi the first month, tungemuuliza Baba, wapi 6,000 shillings for the 2 million families? We would have held him accountable. Tunataka kuona hiyo pesa. And I'm sure Baba would have done that because Baba and Mother said they know where the money is and all of us know where the money goes. Now, Baba said that he was going to provide free education. This serikali ya majambazi, it is not only making life so difficult for students and parents, they have even withdrawn the subsidy that Uhuru had provided. Wacha maneno ya Baba saying free education. Uhuru alikuwa ametoa subsidy, amependa subsidy ya masomo. So wamechukua hiyo subsidy. So I understand that fee is going to the tune of 70,000. I think the lowest fee for boarding schools in Kenya, Michael. You can tell us more how much fee is going to be next month. Sasa angalieni vile tumerudi nyuma. Nyinyi wa Kenya, first hii uchaguzi iliibiwa. But those of you who had the audacity to walk the polling station to vote for this government, I think we shall hold you for many years for sending this country to the dogs. And that is why somebody is saying that Kenya is going to hell. I don't know. Wacha nifikishe hapo Ndeto.
Thank you so much, Julia. I think that was a very good open forum. The evening show that we do inakuwaga very open, so if you feel like you want to talk about anything, siko hapa niseme ati huu ndo anaongea saizi ama atafanya nini. We try to have because this is gonna be a closing show. Hapa tunajaribingi sasa tunakuwa open, so if you feel like you want to say something, we will let you talk. So Michael, I think this is the first time that tumekuja kwa hii show nikiwa for the most people that wanajua hii show ya hapa jioni, sasa tunakujanga tunafunguka tu, because we need to talk about our conversation. We talk like we can be talking tukiwa karibu, tumekaa mahali tunakula kadina. But all said and done, Michael, usiende mahali. Mama Megi umenyamaza sana, wacha tukusikia unasema nini. Alafu Michael, if you want to interject you can. This is a very open forum the way we do in the evening time. I always like it ikuwe tu open, watu waongee. Kuna ile ya kwanza ile ya Bernard hiyo inakuwaga pale, but also we try not to see overdo, unajua, tusirukiane juu. We just have a conversation so that we talk. Mama Megi, kuna kitu unataka kusema? I think pia Michael anataka kusema kitu.
Kenyan with love. Sasa kurukiana juu ndio ni nini? Hakuna kurukiana juu, saa hizi ni kuongea, because we really love that country. Unajua vile snow imeanguka huku, I can't even come out of this room.
Okay, Maggie, by the way, nimesikia Maggie, a minute Maggie, nimesikia Ndeto kuna cyclone or something. Mkuwe careful, mumeona hiyo weather updates?
I'm telling you this.
Iko pande gapi? Iko pande gani? Cause leo aki leo nilichapwa na -16. Sijiona -16.
Yeah.
And that is negative. Okay, that could be centigrade. Lakini we are going negative Fahrenheit. So by the time some states are going negative Fahrenheit, that is too much cold.
Yeah.
Sasa nimesikia kuna snow inaanguka, mkuwe careful. We don't have to drive, mstoke nje. Somebody ameniambia sijui nifanyie gari yangu huko hakuna snow South Carolina, lakini mkisikia kuna snow South Carolina, then the rest of the US is doing so badly.
I'm telling you it's worse this place, and I'm going to work, imagine.
Unaenda kazini saa hii?
Yeah.
Are you going to work now?
No, I'll be going at 10 o'clock. There's still time, but I don't know how it's gonna be when I'll be driving now.
Mama Megi, by the time I was coming from my work, sige za fungua mlango ilikuwa imekwama kabisa. So I had to giggle and wiggle mpaka ikafunguka. Hata dirisha yangu saizi ya passengers haiwezi teremka. Imefreeze.
Yeah. Watu wangu unaweza maliza, unajua hiyo ni ya wale mko US. Sasa wale
aendelea Stone.
No, Mama Megi alikuwa ongea. Mama Megi ndio ulikuwa ukiongea. So tunde, alafu cause nilikuwa najua pia Michael alikuwa akitaka kuongea.
No, Stone had been speaking Deto, akasema
nilipata emergency. Wacha nimalize.
Wacha amalize.
Bwana Ndeto programa. Kwetu mbele mnaitwa programa.
Wacha.
Sasa let me finish. So I was just saying, let's not tusipulize, unauma unapuliza. When it's bad, call it bad, Ndeto. I mean, Kenyan with love, Julia. When we come here as panelists, we decided we are not coming to debate. This is not time for debate. It is time to express and give guidance. Debates tuliacha secondary school. Tuliacha maneno ya mother is better than father many years ago. Doctor is better than teacher many years ago. Engineer is better than sijui nini, mchawi. Here we are supposed to give direction, based on facts. I think that is what even Bernard says. Facts. And facts are this way, that the government, that Kenya has lost track. That's a fact. That Kenya has been duped into believing in things that don't work. A fact. Number two, that the election that happened were rigged. Fact. That whoever is the president today in Kenya stole election. Fact. So when you have fact, then it is, what should we do as Kenyans? That is what we've not been addressing. And that's why I think whenever we open this TV, the discussion is, kura ziliibiwa wananchi. Na ule aliiba kura is not even trying to even correct. You know, sometimes nikiiba kitu yako, ndugu Mato, Julia, that feeling that whatever dress I'm wearing, I stole, nilianua. Mtaani ilikuwa watu wale waizi walikuwa wanaanua. Ukianika viatu zinaanuliwa. Jamaa amevaa Sunday, anajua hizi viatu ni za Kenya with love nimevaa. Sasa unamkuta mkiingia church, unamsho bro, hizi njumu ni zangu. Anakusho bro, acha tu kwanza church iishe, tutabonga. But ule mbaya alikuwa unamwambia hivyo, anaanza kukupiga if you are younger. That's a sugu thief. The president today is a sugu thief. Sasa sugu thief mtaani ilikuwa amekupiga leo, you go and organize your bigger brothers, your sympathizers, you organize a mob to corner Kenya with love who stole my shoes and wants to beat me every time I ask him, ananipiga jumi ni mdogo. So I organize, tunakutime wewe, tukiwa vijana kama 20, we get back shoes za Stone PK and then we beat you thoroughly so that unakuwa funzo kwa wale wengine. This is what I personally am propagating. I will not debate anything else. Okay? So because we know this guy has stolen, don't start sanitizing him. Wacha kuongea maneno ya familia yake. There is no way. Wacha kuongea maneno ya loan, sijui Fuliza ameleta. Hakuna mwizi ambaye project yake huwa ni kusaidia umma. Utasaidiaje wala watu unaibia? I mean, we are losing it. How do you expect Ruto to help Kenyans? This guy is a thief. Proven. Then you are starting analyzing his programs, sijui bottoms up. It will never work. Ruto has never had any interest of human beings on earth.
Exactly.
That's period. That's another fact. It reminds me of somebody called Felice Kabuga of Rwanda. This guy who murdered people, the genocide and everything and all that. And then you expect that guy, I wish you guys could, if you don't remember what happened, you go to YouTube, you'll get the documentaries talking about Felician Kabuga, you know, how he even murdered Munuve Kenyans here who tried to reveal him. And he had a whole trail of people he murdered along before he got arrested. Okay, this is history repeating itself. So you talk of Ruto, oh, sijui loan yake itasaidiwa. You are even trying to analyze how many have paid, how many have. My good God, you are wasting your time. You are wasting your sweet time as Kenyans. Tafadhali tusianalyze ati Ruto atakuja kuwa successful. Hakuna mtu ambaye anaitwa MWIZI. Na hiyo mwizi, Kiluya ni mwizi, Kibaluya ni mwizi, Kijaluo ni mwizi, Kikamba ni mwizi. Mwizi ni mwizi. Na mwizi is not aibangi kusaidia watu. So that we should not be. What we should be debating is, huyu mwizi kabla afanye yale ambayo mnaweka hapa, like I see now they are saying they want to get Ruto out of his way. Who are they? Kenyans. And whoever is brought this topic, who are these people? There's no, hakuna watu. It is Ruto. Why are we pretending? Why are we so much cowards? Kenyans, we are cowards. You are using the phrase we at ya Kiingereza na American at we. You and who? Raila has the people. And he has himself. Those two unity. The two units. Raila himself as a person and the masses. Those two, Raila plus the masses, that's a lethal bomb. It's a bomb. It's lethal for anybody in that country. The moment you activate Raila plus the masses, Ruto will go home in 30 seconds. So what should Ruto do as Mwizi Sugu is to ensure that these two are not connected. So he will do everything possible to disconnect that. It's like those of you who have the bomb or military knowledge, you know what happens when you have a hand grenade in your hand. It is useless until you remove the pin. Unaweza cheza nayo kama ball, unaweza cheza kalongo nayo, lakini ukitoa pin, then it becomes what it is. So therefore, Ruto will struggle to make sure that the pin does not come out, that Mwananchi and Raila do not connect, because that's lethal. If that circuit is done, kwisha. Kenya kwanza itakuwa Kenya kwisha. Kenya kwanza itakwisha, and Raila will regain the power. So what do you do as Ruto? It is to ensure you do everything possible, including what you guys are talking about in beautiful language, including elimination. And this is not news to Kenyans. Let's not be modest. Tunaanza ati sijui Mato unaogopa, ni kama ukienda Kenya utashikwa, sijui nini, ati unajua ukweli.
This issue of elimination.
Yes, including
This issue
that.
of elimination.
There is everything. There is that trail. So anybody as president today would want Raila out of his way. The masses, he will deal with them, because the masses without the pin, they will do nothing. That's why we didn't go to Jacaranda, because the pin was not there. The pin was sent to missions, stupid missions all over. Atikwenda sijui kupeana high level speeches, and which are useless to Kenyans. All right. So basically, ninachangia hiyo topic ya kwanza. He wants Baba ende, and that's what will happen. So mchukue hiyo vizuri. And when you're addressing this, is how do you prevent that, and how do you mobilize the mentality of the Kenyans who are gullible. Kenyans are gullible because poverty is reigning. Unapatia mtu 1,500, 500,000 you give to a Kenyan living in Kibera. What do you expect? Half a million. Half a million to a Kenyan living in Kibera, kwa kanyumba kale kamabati, ana njaa, ana cha kufeed. Januari kuna watoto wanatakikana. Now we are here, every kid will have to pay school fees. Yeah, hata hizo nyumba za mabati kuna rent inalipwa. Kuna kama ana stima, ana mafuta hata kununua juu ya ile kitu inaitwa kandri. Then huyo Mkenya who is very active fighting for the rights of others, unampatia 1,300. Kwisha, finished. And the lie we've been giving ourselves also is that, Kenyans are very ahead, they are very learned, they are very exposed, we are the best in Africa, very industrious. Yes, it's true, but what percentage is that? What is the percentage of the guys in the US, Europe, and Sweden, and everywhere else working very hard? What is that percentage out of 50 million? Let's face reality. Kenyans, we've been made to run away from numbers. Tunatumia ile shosho yangu anatumianga, tuko wengi, na saa hizo mko watatu. Tuliaige mono in Kikuyu and in Kimbere, tulikuwa wengi. Kuna kamunyama tunapeananga example, kanaitwa kaskwiro. Tukikatega, kakishikwa kwa ile mtego, kanasemanga, I know I'm not alone. There are many others who have been captured like me. Kumbe ni yeye peke yake ameshikwa na mtego, anaenda kuchinjwa na kijana na kulwa nyama. That is Kenyans now. Kenyans think, we are very educated. We are this. Now, They were saying we are very democratic, and then your enemies will come and propagate and tell you it is true. You are so democratic. Tell me the truth. With the tenets of democracy, rate Kenya. Kenya would rate almost 0, because the tenet number 1 is free and fair election. Period. It's not freedom of speech. I can have my freedom of speech anytime, but I want to have a freedom of, if I elect Kenyan with love as my chairman, yeye ndiye anapronouncewa ameshinda Julia. If he got 3 votes, there are 3. Julia 2. Maggie 1. So I want to see 3, 2, 1. I don't want to see Julia vote added to Kenya with love. Then Julia is given 0. If he had 10, 1 is removed and she remains with 0, then that 1 is added to the. That is the first tenant of democracy. Free choice of whoever. Nikitaka kuchagua Kiwete, it's my choice. So for me, I rate Kenya as a 0 in terms of democracy. Yeah. You have been having leaders that you've not elected. Then you go all over the world being praised. And you are being praised, oh, Kenya, you are so good, you have upheld democracy. Wapi? When you are being told to uphold Mwizi as you are a convicted thief who is supposed to be in committee, somebody who stole Muteshi land, and you are there seated saying Mutukufu. It's only Kenya where I hear the word Mutukufu. Mutukufu. You know Mutukufu means what? That is only left for God. It's only left for God. Mutukufu. So basically, we've been duped, tumedanganywa that we are the best, yet we are not the best. Kumbe tunagandamizwa for people to come and take over our country, which they are about to, and they will sit and control as they are doing through corruption. And that's why you guys are saying, oh, Wakikuyu walidanganywa and all that. Not Wakikuyu, it's all Kenyans. I heard people saying Kikuyus were lied to because they love money. Every Kenyan now loves money. Go to even a place in Turkana there. Huyo Mturkana mpatie 20,000 mwambie nionyeshe chief mahali yuko. Shika hii enda upekee chief sumu. I'll give you 500,000. Ataua huyo chief wao. Na labda ni even a brother or a relative. Because of what? Poverty. Which Moi told you guys, but you forgot. Moi said, ile kitu iko shida na Mwafrika. Number 1, nywele ngumu. Number 2, umaskini. So you can manipulate a beggar. And that's why Ruto, instead of bringing you food, he brings you fertilizer. Yeah. So you guys, you'll go in vicious cycle. You know, mnazunguka tu on the same spot, trying to look for solution. Kumbe solution is, if you can't get rid of him, let him be. Then you swallow. In my tribe, we say, ikizaa mtoto moto, bado inalamba. That is a cow or any antelope. Because what they do to identify with their kids, inazaa, inaanza kulamba immediately. Hata ikiwa ni moto, inalamba. Sasa Wakenya wajitayarishe kulamba huo moto. Because ndio tu mezalisha. And somebody tells me, we did not elect him. Then if you did not elect him, you are the power. You know what to do. And that's why for me, there is no other option but mass option. That is the only solution. Na hata tutazunguka 100 days measure, we'll go for 1,000 days until the day we agree it is mass action.
But mass, you know, is coming in January. Sifuna has told us. Yeah,
that's
January,
okay.
January
So,
we have a mass.
For me, I have a problem with January. Why not yesterday?
Sifuna alisema nini hiyo Magina Stone?
Alisema
why not yesterday?
Kila mtu atashika sufuria anaenda State House. Tunaenda kutafuta unga huko.
Why not yesterday, Meg?
Why did he say that? Today?
Sufuria itamea kesho.
Now he said in Kamkunji. You didn't listen? Sifuna said, yeah. January, we are going there. Kila mtu na sufuria yake. Ruta anaenda kutupatia hiyo unga na mahindi.
Anyway, mimi nitapoza hapo, nitakuja baadaye kidogo. Mato take back alafu Nitauliza Megi maswali, kwa nini si jana?
Tunaendea unga.
Jana unajua tulikuwa tuanze Stone PK. Tulikuwa tuanze Jamhuri na baba naye cancel ati anaenda sijui wapi. I don't know where he was going to, because mimi I don't think he even came here.
Kwanza hiyo kitu ya baba, hiyo kitu ya baba nyinyi watu niambieni. Sasa Michael na kina muniambie tu. Hiyo kitu ya baba really annoyed me. Sijui baba alichotoa ama nini? Was baba bribed to keep quiet? Why is baba right now? Is it that kwa nini amenyamaza? Somebody
amenyamaza kijinga, lakini watu wameamua, kila mtu sasa wameamua in Kenya. Hatuta nini? Hatuta wait for him. We are not going to wait for him because he's really delaying us. Things are going
You know, this issue of eliminating Raila, since Raila came to the US, if at all he came there, I've been thinking Raila was poisoned. So, nyinyi muko US, I don't know how US operate. I have that strong feeling that this guy was poisoned in the US.
Poison
even before.
Poison in his body or his mind? What do you mean poison?
Body. Before you had the prophecy of this prophet who was saying Raila will be poisoned. Before he came out with that prophecy, me Raila coming to the US, I was not for it and I'm still not for it. Could be kitu mnaona rumor huu mtu ana prophesies, could be it nini already, but nyinyi mnajua US vile kama hiyo inawezekana huko. Aya, huyu PK anasema why not jana ama why not today? Let us not bury our head in the sand and pretend. Mwenye ako kwa power leo si wale tumeona, wale ambao waliona Moi wanasema Moi was bad.
Michael, you know, this is a channel that is an international channel. Eh?
It's okay. Let us talk that Kenyan with love. Let us talk.
Nobody. He was saying something. He was saying something constructive. So what I think he is not so.
Okay, I will not say are you kitu I have an inner conviction something might happen. No, sasa mwenye ako uongozini leo, just the same way they were saying Ruto si Uhuru. Huyu ni mtu ambaye anaogopwa. Ukiona mtu kama Tuoli whom I thought is a mafia amekimbia huko, you need strategy how to go to the street. That mass action. Sai unaona wanasema a lot of thugs wako in the streets. Ebu enda pale munafanya hiyo mass action. He will do that, alafu anasema nyinyi ndio thugs munasumbua Kenya. So you need time to calculate how approve. Kama sahi watu wameacha Raila peke yake because wengine wameogopa wote. So Raila, kama wewe na uko na wananchi, you cannot just wake up when at mass action. You need to know what you are going to touch. Maybe for those who are not kama mmesahau kidogo, 2018 wakati Raila alienda pale Uhuru Park akakula Biblia. I don't know kama mnajua sababu ya Githu Muigai kuresign. This guy, the current president, wanted chukua huyu mtu unyonge. Unaona? Of which kama yeye ndiye angekuwa president hiyo siku angenyonga huyu Raila.
Na angekula. Let me tell you something.
Ajaribu. Sikuwa nimemaliza vizuri.
Ajaribu tu, hata hiyo unasema sijui you will know who can.
Let me tell you. Military kushuka Uhuru Park na kuchukua Raila, tutarusha mawe, but the end of it watakuwa wamemnyonga. Hata kama Kenya itakuwa utawaka.
Which military? Which one?
Sasa, that's where wisdom in leadership comes. Uhuru in his wisdom akasema pana, we cannot go. But yeye unajua ni kiongozi ambaye hana hekima. He's a president without wisdom who thinks vile unafikiria si yeye vile anafikiria. Yeye anafikiria nitaua Raila na nipige raia bunduki wasini. Lakini Uhuru did not see it like that. Unaona? So that's why I'm saying you need to, ukiona watu wote, lese niliona huyu former governor Kiambu huyu alishikilia Waititu, nikaona press conference Kiambu pia wameenda kwa Ruto. Ni uoga. Kanisa leo wameogopa. Hii US takataka hii, I was a good student of history. What made the multi-party troop to be successful was the pressure from foreign pressure. The murder of Robert Ouko, which attracted a lot of pressure from the international bodies. But international body unaangalia ati US ndio wana, they are in bed with the current regime which is oppressing people. So unataka kuanza wapi? Lazima uangalie, yes, nataka kwa raia wako na mimi. Which other international bodies would be in our support? Because if you read the history, what the factors that made the 1992 group, the history from 1990 to 1992, international pressure was a factor in that. So I think nimekuambia why it cannot be jana, it cannot be today. It is something that needs to be looked at carefully.
Let me say something. I want to, nataka kuelimisha Michael kidogo and everybody else. Julia, if you allow me. Now, when you see there is so much dynamic that has happened and people wamebaki nyuma. Gone are the days of international support. Because of what? The international support, hiyo kitu tunaita international, that era is gone. It was the era of integrity when we had some people who stood for human right and some people who were against it. Today, nobody is for human right. The evil has ruled the world. Today is what is in there for me. My brother, I'm telling you this. I've been all over this. Hiyo tunaita UN, tunaita sijui wapi, I don't want to name them. It is every man for himself. The Bible even has said, these are the times when it is individualistic thinking. So, and the only one of the leaders in Africa who has recognized that and is now hated. And that last week he was joined by another leader. Now we have two leaders in Africa who have said kama ni mbaya. It is Kagame. Kagame does not care about, Michael, what you are talking about international. There is nothing called international. It is individual interest. China is interested because of its people. Okay? Whatever other country is interested in, what are they going to get and gain in Kenya? All right. I want that to be very clear. So tusianze kusema that you can't do this. Yeah. Because the international
is in it. Please. I'm sick about
and
that.
This is where everybody is bitter about Baba. Baba was lied to.
Yeah.
And because hiyo ilikwisha. America has their individual interest in Kenya. Kenya collapse, waweke madawa yao huko, ndio biashara zao ziendelee. So bro Mike, wachana na maneno ya international. It is a leader, it is the leader who will stand with his people, then you die for your people. Like Kagame alisema kwa hiyo meeting, aliulizwa how was the meeting? Akasema it was just a meeting, and there it was. An African leader saying, it's like he said it was garbage, but he used a softer word. Akasema it was just a meeting. Okay? What did the Ghana president say and do in his speech? You guys, you should play those clips. This was one of the worst meetings that have ever been organized by Hao Munaita, and then they were left with a rotten egg on their faces because of these two guys. Because of why? Waliangalia, wakaanalyze. And then, Baba's speech was kitu ingine. It was heavy.
I'm in the airport. I'm supposed to fly. Let me say something quickly.
Una fly wapi, Alex, wewe?
don't worry.
Sasa unanikat wewe Alex wewe.
Okay, wacha nikuache umalize basi.
Unajua mimi ni mkoyone bwana, lazima
Na ndio maana
Alex, go ahead.
Okay, there is a clip that you guys have not seen. I've sent it to Ndeto. And I hope Ndeto can send it to Julia because I don't have Julia's number. There is a job that Baba has been given. When Baba came to Washington, D.C., there was a job that he was given. And the job is that he's going to oversee all elections in Africa. Next week, he's going to Abuja. Okay? And from there, he went to Germany. And the Germans spoke with him. And remember, he was with the chancellor and some ministers. And he was given some money to bring to Kenya for development. So Baba has been bribed. Next week, he's going...
We don't want to hear that. Hiyo ujinga ya Baba sasa itutatupa.
Wacha nimalize. Next week, he's going to Abuja to oversee the elections. Ndeto, tafadhali tumia Julia hiyo clip so that people can see and understand why Baba is quiet. We play that clip here so that you guys can see the reason why Baba is quiet, so that you can analyze and see. The biggest mistake that Baba did was to come to Washington, D.C., because they knew the meeting that was going to be in Kamkunji or Jacaranda was going to be a game changer. And the Americans are the ones who put Ruto in the power. Next week, Biden is coming to Kenya. Do you know that? Next week, Biden is coming to Kenya. So when you look at the interest of America in Kenya, it's appalling. The ambassador of America came only maybe 2 weeks to elections. So Julia, weka your clip so that people can see how Baba was bribed, so that you can analyze and see why Baba is quiet.
Okay, that was my time. Thank you, ndugu Alex. Moderator ni nani? Ni Kenyan ama ni Julia? Anyway,
ni Julia for now.
Okay, let me proceed, bro. Sasa Alex, thank you for that, and wale ma engineer ambao wako Matona Julia, they will see what to do. The clip will be assessed, and then they will do what is needful. But thank you for that info. For me, I would still maintain my stand that I said that for salvage in this country, it is Baba plus the people. Now, in the absence of Baba, there will always be somebody.
Yes.
There will never be a vacuum. And for me, I've always given Baba as number one. I believe in him. But I always say, God forbid, assuming, for example, God forbid, he's not there. Does it mean the fight for the rightfulness will end? No.
Exactly.
No. So what we need to do...
tuachane na hiyo mambo ya Baba.
Yeah.
We still have Kalonzo. We still have Martha Karua, who are still standing with the people.
Yes.
Kama Baba can be bribed, I know Kalonzo will not be bribed. Martha Karua will not be bribed, and many other people, Sekina, all those people, they are still with Azimio, and we still know we can put our country in the right place we want it to.
Thank you. And then the other thing is, if Baba does not see this mockery, unaambua you are overseeing elections in Africa, sijui all the world. How do you, Julia, you are a teacher. You are assuming you are such a very poor teacher, like one of my teachers who taught us for 2 weeks. She was
mathematics.
1 minute. 1 minute. Let me give an example with my sister Julia. Julia, we ni mwalimu. We have 2 types of teachers. We have a mathematics teacher that is she can solve or he can solve any problem. Akiingia kwa ubao, anaanzisha hesabu from left to write, anajaza hiyo board, anaweka answer pale chini, talking to him or herself without explaining things to the children. The pupils or the learners wanashindwa tu wako agape. For like 5 minutes this guy or this lady has been calculating kabisa, very genius. Alafu anasema that is the answer and that's how it's supposed to be done. And then you have this other teacher who explains every step by step. Anauliza, is there anybody who is not understanding this? Anaenda, instead of taking 5 minutes calculating to the answer, anachukua the 40 minutes lesson to ensure that 3/4 of the kids have understood how to solve that problem if it comes tomorrow. Who is the best teacher? Ni huyo. Now, for us today, we know that our best teacher in terms of, yes, in terms of organizing and delivering is Baba plus watu. Now, in the absence of Baba, another teacher will emerge. And that teacher is the one we will call the leader. And they are there. Only that, with all due respect, like for example, if I was one, I would not want to come and undermine Baba. I would ensure Baba exhausts all his whatever. Number two, Baba cannot go and oversee elections huko nje, mwalimu unaenda kufunza huko, and your own class does not understand you, things are not correct, elections in Kenya have not attained the standards that there's. How? So you will be overseeing election, giving on what, atakuwa anatumia baseline gani? In fact, that's the wild goose chase now. It's just being sent out of the world to go chasing that goose over there, yet kwake kuna ungua. And Baba legacy will go down into flames. Baba legacy, which he has suffered for, he has almost died for, imekwisha. Akianza hiyo maneno ya going over the world, supervising. What can he do about elections in Mauritius, in Nigeria? Atafanya nini?
I wish you saw that clip first so that you can understand. No, I was shocked.
We understand, Alex.
Okay, let me play it. Then you comment on it. Let me play it. Then you comment on it.
Yeah,
it's important for us to see it. I was shocked.
What benefit is it to supervise elections in Nigeria?
No, just see the clip first.
It doesn't make sense. Whatever it is, it's annoying.
Kazi yenye hadhi ya kimataifa. Raila Odinga aangukia donge la kazi yenye hadhi ya kimataifa. Karibu katika taarifa za Erand Digit, nakumbuka kusubscribe. Kinara wa muungano wa Azimio la Umoja Raila Odinga sasa amepewa jukumu kubwa la kuwajibikia katika kuhutubia makongamano ya kimataifa kuhusu chaguzi za mataifa kuanzia mnamo Januari mwaka 2023. Jukumu la kimataifa linajiri miezi michache tu baada ya Raila Odinga kupoteza uchaguzi wa rais kwa mpinzani wake wa karibu sana, Daktari William Samoei Ruto. Kiongozi huyo wa Azimio ametikwa jukumu la kushughulikia masuala ya njia za kuandaa chaguzi zinazoaminika kote barani Afrika. Hafla yake ya kwanza hata hivyo imepangwa kufanyika Abuja katika taifa la Nigeria, ambapo Raila Odinga atakuwa mzungumzaji rasmi kwenye hafla hiyo. Kongamano la 14 la kila mwaka la uongozi bora litahudhuriwa na Raila Odinga, huku akitarajiwa kuhimiza haja ya kuwa na uchaguzi wa huru na haki. Zaidi ya hayo, Odinga alichaguliwa kwa sababu ya msukumo wake wa muda mrefu wa kuwakomboa Waafrika kutoka kwa uongozi wa udikteta. Kauli mbiu ya mkutano wa mwaka huo nchini Marekani ilifanyika kwa sadfa wakati ambapo nchi hiyo inaelekea kwenye uchaguzi mkuu, kwa kuambatana vima na vilele vya Raila Odinga kutaka uchaguzi huru wa haki na wa kuaminika usio na matatizo, ilisema gazeti la The Star katika ripoti yake. Bwana Odinga amechaguliwa kuwa sehemu ya tukio hilo baada ya kushindwa kwa mara yake ya 5 sasa katika chaguzi zilizopita mara kwa mara, huku Odinga akishutumu tume ya uchaguzi na mipaka hapa nchini IEBC inayoongozwa na Wafula Chebukati kwa kumuibia ushindi wake. Kwa hivyo Raila Odinga anatarajiwa kuchambua mada hiyo katika mkutano huo na hatimaye kutoa maoni yake kuhusu jinsi nchi za Afrika Mashariki zinaweza kuwa na demokrasia ya kudumu kupitia upigaji kura wa kuaminika. Waandalizi wa hafla hiyo walisema. Mtazamaji, wazo lako ni lipi kuhusiana na swala hili Raila Odinga kupata lucrative job?
Toa hiyo kitu Julia.
Toa hiyo nani Julia? Julia, let me tell you. Maggie, wait. That is nonsense.
Those are not news.
Disregard that.
Alex,
I saw it. And I know that kind of combination. Please, let's mute.
Propaganda ya watu wa Kenya.
Maggie. Okay, Maggie ongea basi. Ongea, mimi nitaongea baadaye.
Mimi nasema whatever you have played, those are propaganda from Kenya Kwisha. You know, you must be very careful, you guys. They are trying by all means to put you. Sasa si munaona utume jump siji Raila. I know Raila. He cannot do something like that.
And the question is, Maggie, niko na swali Maggie, mbona hatujasikia hizi news from NTV, Citizen, KTN? Let me tell you, anything you don't hear from this mainstream TVs,
yes,
it is just data press.
From Kenya Kwisha. Yeah,
Alex, umetuleta down sana.
So just disregard that kind of
Alex, umetuleta down sana.
No, I am not letting you down. I called. Listen. When I saw that thing, I said it was propaganda. I called some sources and asked, is this true? I refused completely for 2 days. I asked 3 people and they told me it is true. He's going to Abuja next week.
No, nothing like that, Mr. Alex.
Okay. Thank you, Alex. Thank you.
I always respect you so much, but now the thing you have brought in front of us today when I'm here, that is not true, and it is something which is not called for. I think let us be sober and
You are in denial.
I'm not that I'm in denial. Kama munasema ukweli nitasema yes. Lakini
let's say this. Know, it is not true then. But if we find it true then.
Hiyo propaganda hata ukisikia mwenye anaongea, he's not even a journalist first of all. He's not even a broadcaster. Kama ingekuwa imetoka kwa NTV, ingekuwa imetoka kwa KTN, ingekuwa imetoka kwa whatever KBC, those mainstream whatever media ningekubali, lakini hiyo ni mtu nini. That's uncalled for. I'm on denial and I will not take that one. That it is
again,
the Raila cannot
if
Yes, Michael. Michael, I agree with as Michael tries to come back. I agree with Maggie. I mean, let me say this. I belong to this school of thought. Anything I don't see in NTV, Citizen, na KTN, you know, they are mainstream media. They are so mainstream that they are very careful. I think they always release what they can verify. So because I haven't seen that information from those 3 media stations, then I also agree with them, other members of the panel here, Alex. That is just mere propaganda. If we see it from those mainstream media, we'll agree. Another thing I want to say is when it comes to propaganda, there's this thing that Babu Owino has been propagating, and some people that Uhuru played Baba. I will still want to disagree. That was propaganda that has worked very well on Azimio members and successfully disintegrated Azimio, because I ask myself, how could Uhuru spend so much money on campaigning for Baba and play him? My conclusion on that narrative is that Uhuru was outsmarted, did not see this coming. Yes, and he should have stopped the rigging. That is, I only hold him that responsible. He should have stopped. He had the machinery, he had the mechanism, he could have stopped the rigging. He could have done what would have taken him to make sure that this corrupt government doesn't get to power. But ati akapanga kucheza baba, hiyo ni propaganda ya UDA. And people have been propagating it here. And he's selling. And that has caused division in Azimio proper. And UDA has gained seriously on that. And you see people like Babu, and others just walking around saying that trash. How could Uhuru spend so much money and his time? He had the choice to let it go, to just keep quiet and not campaign for anybody. So hii pia sio imetokea ni ya UDA and we are selling it. We should stop that. Let us wait and hear from KTN, NTV and Citizen announcing that Baba has been appointed. Tukisikia hiyo tutaamini. That is why hata hii story ya Babu ya kusema ati Uhuru played how. The only thing Uhuru didn't do is he didn't rig Baba in. Or he didn't. What Uhuru could have done, maybe according to Babu, is go and refuse to hand over. You see, that is what he could have done. But me, what I blame Uhuru was he wasn't smart. He didn't see it coming. And the people you are working with, whether it is Matiang, some people even say that Matiang used money, ate the campaign money. Some people are walking around saying that. So whether it is Matiang, Kibisho, how watu walilalia kazi yao, they should have seen this coming. They should have stopped it. They had the machinery and the mechanism to stop it. Lakini story ya Uhuru kucheza baba, that one I refuse to buy, is another propaganda coming from UDA camp. And the Azimio people have bought that. And I've been talking about it here on the show. And Babu is one of them who was talking somewhere in NTV. How could Uhuru play Baba? How could he plan to play Baba? How could he use all his money? He had the choice not to use his money and let go. He could have just sat and like Kibaki and played non-committal and said that I'm the president and I won't play politics. But he went along, he campaigned all that, only to play Baba. Me, the only thing I blame Uhuru for is that he wasn't watchful. And he was outsmarted in this corrupt election thing. He was outsmarted because he should have seen the behavior of Mother Kome. He should have seen that. He should have seen there's no way he can depend on Chebukati. He should not even have allowed the election to go on. I mean, he should have seen that. That is how I blame Uhuru for. Sasa hii pia ati Baba amechaguliwa, hii ni propaganda ingine imekuja. Ati Baba is going somewhere. But let us wait and hear. Let us wait and hear what these other main TV stations will say. If we have not heard that, then Alex, we are sorry. We shall dismiss that as propaganda. That just like I'm dismissing the propaganda of Babu Owino that Uhuru prayed Baba. In fact, I'm beginning to think those who are walking around talking like that are UDA hawks right now. Because you see how that works? This is how that works, Kenyan with Love, Stone PK, Maggie and Alex. It works like this. If you go around saying Uhuru played Baba, all the sympathizers Baba had from Uhuru side, kwisha maneno. Kwisha. That is how it's working. Ati mnatukana Uhuru, mnasema ati played Baba, basi kwendeni na huyo baba yenyu. That is how it is playing. And UDA is achieving on that. So we must not buy that propaganda. Uhuru did not intentionally play Baba. He was just outsmarted in this corrupt game of corruption. He was outsmarted. That is my take. So this other propaganda that is coming that Baba has an appointment, let us wait and hear it from the mainstream media. If we hear that, we shall believe that. But I want to listen to somebody called the gentleman who was here before. That, and I will say, let us pray for Baba, let us pray for his health. Maggie, Alex, and Deto, Stone PK, I don't know what is happening with Baba. We should pray for him. We should pray that God keeps him safe, because I think now he stands. He's the biggest problem to Ruto's government, and Ruto knows that things have not settled down, and Ruto knows that people are unhappy, and Ruto knows that people have refused to let go this thing. So, and he knows that Baba can mobilize these people. So I think we need to pray that God keeps him safe. That's my take. Sijui nani anataka kujibu maoni yangu.
I want to question Julia a few things. How could Uhuru be outsmarted? I fail to understand. How could he be outsmarted? I fail to understand.
I will answer you, Alex. Just the way we think that elections were rigged in 2013 and 2017. Nani was behind this? Nini amjaona hii story ati Ruto anasema I almost slapped the president. You people, you think Ruto was just a deputy president? He was a co-president. He was a co-president. And if you want to know that he was a co-president, see the way all the security bodies are fitting in his government. He was in control for a long, long time.
Julia, when you saw Muturi go, when you saw Waiguru go, when you saw these people go, Uhuru could have been vigilant. He could have known that there is something cooking, and he should have known that he should not have been outsmarted. I question a lot of things. It may not be, I may not believe everything that Babu said, but some things that Babu says and his philosophic, the way he puts them, not that I trust Babu in everything, but I tend now to start asking some questions. You see, one of the things that Babu said is this: elections ends by what? By 6 o'clock. Every pool has only 700 to count. By 9 o'clock, because the presidential is the one that they start with. By 9 o'clock, the president knows because he is told. How could he be outsmarted?
Yes, so that is the point that me too, Alex, I agree with you that I don't like it. Even before we went for the elections, that will come to you. I don't like it that Uhuru saw this guy take over. Take over. I don't like it. He knew it. He saw this guy. He didn't stop it. You see, I don't like it. So the words I want to withdraw is that he played Baba. He would not have spent his money, Alex, on that campaign. Hangefanya hiyo kazi. Hizo mikutano za Sagana Uhuru hangefanya. Angewachilia kama Kibaki tu. But he was outsmart. Why Uhuru sat and did nothing, even all the way from 2013. My take is, if I was in Uhuru's shoes, this guy took over all the way from 2013, and I think Uhuru was the threats Uhuru had. If you don't work with me, that is from Ruto, you will not get the second term. Uhuru had a choice to let go the second term and give it to Raila. He had a choice to let go the second term and give it to Baba. He had a choice to tell Ruto, you're not supporting me, tupoteze zote. Let us all lose. That was the better option. Because this guy, the Uhuru, was held captive and he knew it and he did nothing about it. So that is where I blame Uhuru for. But this words played Baba, that is just rubbish from people who are talking about it. He could not have spent money on the campaign and then play the same man. He's spending money campaigning.
Julia, let me remind you. It is said that Chebukati called the president and told him that Raila was leading. Do you remember that?
I don't know about that.
Yes. And then Baba was on his way to Bomas. I still don't believe it. Julia, you may still insist it, but there's something questionable.
So Alex, are you trying to say that Uhuru sold Chebukati to declare Ruto as president?
The other alternative I can say is that Uhuru was never in charge of our country for 10 years.
Yes, that is the conclusion personally I also make. That he was not in control. And if
he was in control, what like Stone PK said here, he could have called Koome or called Kinoti and stopped Chebukati, and even we should have gone to the second election, something like that, because he had the power, the constitutional power. But he did not do it. So I conclude that Uhuru was never our president for 10 years.
That one I agree with you. Hapo tunakubaliana nawe Alex. That is also my point, that really he let go the reins of power. I think Kenyan Islam wanted to say something about that.
Yes, Julia and Alex, and I'm gonna be very controversial on this one. I will promise you guys one thing. And Alex, I know when we were, time ya tukipigana story ya, when we were doing the campaigns, there's a couple of things that I told you that we didn't agree. Especially, I know the biggest controversial one was Kalonzo, that I told you Kalonzo had not gone anywhere.
Daddy Darius, imekuwa postponed. Tunaambiwa is 30 minutes.
Danny is asking, ati Alex uko kwa airport ama uko wapi?
All right. So having said that, I want the people that actually listen to this channel, and I want to say it and hold me accountable. Uhuru was never played by anyone. Uhuru was not played by anyone. And it was impossible to play Uhuru. Very impossible. The man had been there for 10 years. In fact, he had played everyone, including at ICC time. You cannot play Uhuru. Hook or crook. Never. You can't. The guy did everything that he had. He has played anything that he wanted to play for 10 years. Uhuru never played Raila. Uhuru never played Raila. Listen to me what I'm trying to tell you. Uhuru never played Raila. Something happened at the day of Bomas. And what happened? He let his guard down. But by the time he was letting his guard down, he wanted to catch someone on their, or where they are. And I don't think it's over. And if you want to prove me wrong, I want anyone to tell me what Uhuru has said other than he didn't even say anything. Akitoka Bomas kupeana sword. And why Raila has been so sought so much to become the opposition leader and to have an office, which is not going to happen. Uhuru had the best interest of our country, even though he's someone that I've never voted for. Had the best interest of our country. That last day, pale Bomas, watu wakianza kugongana kupigana, and Raila is already, we're seeing the cars zikitaka kuja Bomas and all that. Something happened there, and it's going to come to light. And that's why Uhuru cannot say anything right now. Uhuru never failed Raila. And Raila never failed Uhuru. And that's why there's a problem today. Even with the military, wamenyamaza. And is the reason we only have one certificate, handwritten. Hakuna mtu atujaiona certificate ya Gachagua, by the way. Tuliona ya Ruto yenye ilikuwa haraka. And I'm telling you, there's a problem coming in. Even hii kitu, I was really against hii kitu ya, you know, the thing that they're doing right now, ati going to, you know, kuanza kuangalia kesi yote, whatever they are doing right now. I feel it's orchestrated, and it's gonna bring up some issues that our country might one day come to appreciate. Because I believe at the point Uhuru and Raila were, they were not at a point of stupid politics. They were about fixing our country. And that's the reason that when they were supposedly working together, Kenya went so far. And I'm telling you, there's forces that will not agree for Kenya to go back again to be a dictatorship. Uhuru never played Raila. And I don't think Raila even feels like Uhuru played him. I just feel that there comes a time in a country where people start actually doing and play your game the way you want to play it. I feel in the next 2-3 years, so many things are going to happen that tutaachwa hata tuelewi mali tuko. I think these two guys, and I don't think they are power hungry, but by the time they're done, I think Kenya will be in a better place. There's a lot that is going on. I believe the military is involved, and I believe there's a lot that meets the eye. At that point, wacha ninyamazie, tutaendelea na vitu zingine. But I can tell you, watch me, mark my words, listen to that, and remember what I just told you.
Ndeto hiyo ya mwisho umesema, hiyo sijui nitasema nini, lakini the one you first started, I want to agree with you. Uhuru let his guard down. I don't think mtu anaweza campaign all this money alafu ati aende apeane uchaguzi tu hivyo, just to how first he's giving to his worst enemy mwenye amemuita majina, amemtukana. That one doesn't add any sense. But letting his guard down, Mato, I agree with you. And really, that one is so annoying. I mean, why they didn't see this come, I don't know. That one is so annoying. I don't know. Pika is talking, Maggie is talking my own.
Julia, I joined the Kenyans who have taken that Uhuru played Raila. And the way you see things, even initially Ben had played the video the way things happened. Ukiangalia vizuri, that time, you know, it was very hurriedly, and it was something you could not pick the points easily. But today, when I was watching at it, in fact, the government was with Ruto. Those who were beating people there were the government. And the government, you know, was the government of Uhuru. So
yeah, it is true, Maggie. The government was with Ruto, and Ruto had taken over so much. Maggie, what annoys me, why Uhuru saw it and did nothing about it. You see?
yeah.
Yani this man alikuwa na control na, I mean, he had so much control that he had. And I think that's the point, that Uhuru should have done something. I don't know what he should have done,
Yeah.
but he should have done something. Mm-hmm.
Because everything was stage managed. Even for Chebukati to do all those things. In fact, he did all these things. No, he knew what he was doing, and it seems the government was in the upper hand of it. There was nothing like, so he was doing this, he was doing this. I think Uhuru knew everything. the way you see things, the way you see everything is moving, Uhuru knew everything, but he was just, let me just use that word, he was playing Baba. And Baba didn't know. But
Mama
now it
Megi.
has happened. Yes.
Apana Maggie, that one I refuse to
Mama
agree.
Megi.
Yeah.
How did he spend all the money for campaign playing Baba Maggie?
I don't.
For him, he cannot do that.
Mama
Normally,
Megi.
someone
Yeah.
cannot. Yes, Martin.
Mama Megi, you're very right. Uhuru knew everything. You're very right. He knew everything, but he never played Baba.
Okay.
Even today, they're working together.
With Baba?
You see, when you want a country to move forward, sometimes you have to, even hata ukiona shamba yako, lazima utoe zile kwekwe. These are two people who really want their country to move forward. These are two people that actually, I didn't want to say this. When you look at when Uhuru came in, you know, when Kibaki came in, tuliachwa na Thika Highway. Talk about Thika Highway, everybody will tell you Kibaki. Today, when you go to Kenya, you have the super highways and all those things. Talk about Uhuru, right?
Yeah.
And whatever, everything, we will always talk about Uhuru, about the super highways and everything. You want to talk about the bypasses, talk about Raila. You used to see them at night, wamejificha, wanaenda kuangalia huko, unapatikana wamepigwa picha huko wakiangalia mabarabara. They're not stupid. Sometimes you let mtu ajinyonge mwenyewe so that you start getting the people who are not supposed to be there. There's a video that was, there's a recording that was going on when election time was going on, that wacha mtu kwanza, unaacha mtu kwanza ajiingize ndio mwenye umpate. Like this thing that has happened is happening. It's not by si ati ni kuangukia tu. If you read and if you look at and if you follow the Muchelule led, and remember Muchelule was not Uhuru alikuwa amekataa kumuingiza. The Muchelule led thing, if you realize the questions that are coming in, people are afraid to answer. Why? Because these guys are playing a game to where that we put a precedence for our country. I'm telling you the truth. These guys are together. They know what is happening. The guy was walisema, okay, go for it. I didn't want to say that. But I'm telling you, even the military is not with the one son of Sugoi. Watch how these preliminary hearings are going to happen. Listen to them very carefully. They will prove something. And that is why we are still in a campaign session. Since independence, once you become a president, you don't go back into a campaign session. But today we are still in a campaign session. That's why Gachagua cannot keep quiet, but keep on campaigning. There's something that is going to come out of this preliminary thing that we are doing, of the 4, that is probably going to change the whole way, the way we do our our elections, the way the next person is going to be elected, and the way we even distribute our funds to our counties and to everything. Raila does not have to be a president. Uhuru does not have to be, but at least if we can have good governance ways of doing things, and they do it, then the country will be a better place. So I want to tell people, Uhuru never played Raila in any way. They did the best way and they did the right way, because sometimes it takes some tough choices to make permanent things that can happen, and precedents, because that goes into our constitution. Whatever comes out of this hii yenye inafanyika saizi will go to our constitution, and that will be our precedents. So how do we do that so that we never find ourselves in a position like this again? That's just something nimetuma huko, najua nitagongwa, but let's look in about within the year, maybe we'll sit down again and revisit that. But I can tell you guys, Uhuru never played Raila Odinga. That is what they want you to UDA wanataka msikize ama mfikirie. Uhuru hakucheza Raila, na Raila hakuchezwa na Uhuru, na Raila anajua hiyo kitu yote, na walicheza yote pamoja. Mtego ni yenyu, watu wa UDA, endeni tu jingizeni kabisa. Ikikuja kuingia ndio mtakuja kujua na tumejenga nchi. Wallet it.
Lakini ninaweza kubali na wewe. I've been thinking about it. Sana sana for meeting in Kamkunji spoke a lot, Julia. I don't know whether you watched it. The meeting in Kamkunji, in fact, that is why, if it is true that Baba was called by Biden, that meeting spoke a lot even to Ruto. And since that time, if you watch even Ruto's steps and everything happening in Kenya, it scared Ruto. And he's no longer payukering too much. Kama ninasema uongo museme. That meeting spoke everything about Kenya to anybody in the entire world. And I know what you're saying, surely, Mato, it can be true. Uhuru is still here and he's still in power. If you look at it.
And Mama Megi, while you're talking about it, remember what Mother Karua said at that time.
Yeah. If you look about it, if you think about it, there was no policeman to interfere with anybody at Kamkunji that day. And it was fully packed. Julia, I watched it from beginning to end. So you are right. Whatever propaganda I've been hearing, and sometimes I weigh things and I think I've been wrong. Everything is gonna be okay for us. But hata kama vitu zitakuwa mzuri, Stone PK, tunaenda January kwa Ruto na sufurias. Yeah, things will be okay anyway. Because even me, I've really struggled with this thing. What Babu Wino said, and Babu Wino is also a politician, he can talk anything. But the way you have put it now, and the way I saw them in Kamkunji, whatever was going on, no. Uhuru is still in control. Wachana na mutu atapelekwa Sugoi akibebwa na wheelbarrow. Bado. Anarudishwa Sugoi. Wacha tu.
Asante Maggie, I agree with you, and
Thank you.
I agree with the two of you. You see, I'm saying this. This is my point. Uhuru cannot spend all that money campaigning and then go ahead akijua hii kiti sipei mzee. Hawezi. Who want to waste their money when they are retiring and time? He had the choice to behave like Kibaki na aseme mimi hakuna mtu naunga mkono, lakini penye tunashindwa ni kana kwamba he saw these people were going to do this. Now somebody is telling me here that a president, a sitting president cannot lose. This was a co-presidency. This was a co-presidency. Si ati Uhuru alikuwa president peke yake. It was a co-presidency. And just like Ndeto has analyzed it, this man was actually outsmarted na kiti kaenda tu hivyo. You know, the rigging occurred and he
No.
let it be.
Julia, wacha nikukate. The way Ndetas put it, hata nimeona, and the way I see it and analyze it, ndio nimekuambia habari ya Kamkunji. Hiyo kitu haijaenda, and you remember when Uhuru was talking, he said something. Nimepatia nyinyi mwezi ngapi? 3. Mwezi 3 unajua ni almost 100 days. Na hiyo 100 days ndio hii imepita na hajafanya anything. And those were the demands from Kamkunji. So, haijaenda, we are still on the right track.
Maggie, you are giving us hope.
Yes. Haijaenda. We are still in the right track. Let's just wait, watch the space of Raila and Uhuru. Those are our savior, Martha Karua and Kalonzo. Do you think Kalonzo would have been stuck with these people? No. They know what they are doing. These people are smart. Mtu asubuhi anafikiria, oh, I'm outsmart these people. These people went to school. Yes. Raila, Uhuru, Martha, Kalonzo, these people are those who sat in a class. Sio wenye walijidanganya wanaenda shule na wanaenda kuuza mayai. Thank you.
Asante Maggie. Wacha ninaona tumeungana na Mary Wainaina, Pogon and Chaka. Mary Wainaina, Pogon, wacha Mary Wainaina aongee kwanza. Mary Wainaina, karibu.
Habari yenu watu wote, mimi mzima, bado nawasikiza. Niko na furaha kusikia Maggie anatuput hope.
Thank you.
Saa zingine tunajishika tumbo, tunasikia inatuendesha vibaya sana kwa sababu tukiona mambo ingine inatendeka. Tunasikia kukatika roho, lakini tunajimudu tu na tunajikaza sababu nchi ni yetu na tunaiombea tuendelee hivyo mpaka tutafika mwisho na tutafurahia. Mtu akijikaza kwa mazito alafu afaulu, hiyo inakuaga ni sherehe mzuri sana. Kwa hivyo tujikaze na tutafika, bado hatujakufa roho. Mato vile amesema, hata mimi nitasema the same. Uhuru hajamchezea Raila, wako pamoja. Mimi nitakuwa yule kijana alikuwa anapenda baba yake, lakini mama yake alikuwa amepata watoto wengine mapacha. Lakini huyu kijana alikuwa anapenda baba yake sana, lakini baba yake alikuwa jitu. Kwa hivyo huyu mama aliyezaa watoto hawa wengi, alipozaa hawa watoto wadogo wawili, aliwafanya kuwalea na nguvu sana na kuwafunza tactics of how to fight with an enemy. Sababu alijua huyu mtoto wake wa kwanza na baba yake ni majitu mawili, na kwa hivyo alikuwa anaogopa. So saidha huyu mtoto wa kwanza na baba yake walikuwa wameenda, hawa watoto wawili walikuwa wanatoka nje na mama yao wanafanya mazoezi. Lakini kwa sababu mama alikuwa anajua huyu mzee na huyo sani yake watakuja saa ngapi, anachukua wale vijana anawaficha. So huyo kijana mmoja alikuwa anakuja anaona makanyangio nje. Anauliza baba, kwa nini na ni mimi tu na wewe tunapitaga hapa? Makanyangio hii ni mingi sana. Baba yake anamwambia, wewe wacha maneno mingi hapa, hakuna watu wengine isipokuwa mimi na wewe. So this boy knew there was something going on, but the father did not take interest. What am I meaning? What I'm trying to say is that sisi wa Kenya tunajua kuna mambo inaendelea. Na hiyo mambo yote sisi ndio tunaisoma na tutakuja kujua ni nini inatokea. Kwa hivyo tuwe waangalifu sana tuwe tuko vigilant na ile mambo yote inafanyika Kenya, tuichunge, na mtu akielewa kitu angazia wale wengine, ndio tuweze kutengeneza nchi yetu. Why I'm saying so is that also, mimi kuna wakati nilisema hapa kwa hii forum, kuna wazungu walikuja huko nchi yetu as a delegation. Nilisema hivyo jana Julia. They came in the country as a delegation. Wakamit na baba, wakamit na Uhuru, na wakamit na Ruto. I always question myself, what were they after when they came in the country? What were they coming to do? What was the aim? Why were they talking with these people different places? Why were they not having a communal talk? Mi nikafikiria labda hapo ndio mambo ilitokea, hii ya kuleta huu mgawanyiko na hii shida yetu ya Kenya. That is my thinking and that is my point. Wale wengine wanaweza fikiria mengine, but mimi hiyo nilichukua na nikaiweka na nikaifikiria sana, kwa nini inafanyika mambo kama hiyo. Alafu immediately after they left, there were some weird things happening in our country. Ukatolewa travel alert, mambo kama hiyo. Sasa mimi nikajiuliza, what is all this? What is cooking in our country? So hii mambo yote ukiangalia uiweke kwa meza, ukaunt hawa watu vile walikuja na ile mambo ilifuata, unaweza jiuliza shida yetu ilitoka wapi? Na Uhuru alikimya kwa nini? Who knows what he was told? Who knows what was the message that was delivered in our country by those delegations? So we have to make ourselves more, we take things widely. Tusikae tu pahali moja kwa one point. Tujaribu kupenya na kutupa macho yetu mbali, tuelewe. Kwa sababu sisi ndio tuko na shida na sisi ndio tunataka kujua in and out. Ni nani anaingia na nani anatoka, na anatoka na nini na anaingia na nini. So that we can dissect our problem. That is what I noticed, na nikaona kuna mambo ambayo si mzuri inaendelea. The other thing, Julia, yesterday I talked of Rachel Ruto about her blessing water. Actually, I had that clip. It's only that I cannot play for.
You found the clip. You can you paste on the private chat?
If I am able, I'll do that. So yeah. That clip I listened and I found that really it was there. She was talking about Jericho being with the dirty water and unproductive. And there was a curse, kind of, that they had all these problems in that area, Jericho. And so she said that it's not that I need prophets, I need clergymen, or I need pastors or whatever. I can also do something. So she took a bowl with salt and she went to her borehole and put it there and prayed, and the water became clean. That is what I gathered. So it is there, Julia. So those are the things that I wanted. I mean, something that I wanted to confirm to you, Julia, and also what I collected after this delegation came in Kenya. Things started going higher. And I would like somebody just to go back there, see how those people came in the country and how they started separating these guys, different places, talking with them, and then they left the country and things started changing. That is my take.
Okay, yeah. Yes, Ndato.
At the risk of being kicked out for misbehaving, obviously we always want to have a decorum here. I'd really want people to ask themselves and to start thinking. If you're following the proceedings that are going on for the four, the Cherera four, if kama kuna mtu amesikiza vizuri sana akaona how it's working against the UDA wannabes, kama kuna mtu amesikiza vizuri how it's going on, I want you guys to tell me, what if hiyo prosecution yote na everything comes out to show that this thing was not won, na that the Cherera 4 mali waliekwa kwa hiyo Yaya Center walikuwa wanafichwa because their lives were in danger. If it comes to show that walikuwa tu wanafichwa, si ati ni nini, na si kitu ya kuonesha ati sijui watu wa UDA, watu wa Azimio, sijui Azimio waliwalipia place ya kukaa ya center or something like that, but maybe they were being protected. If it comes to show that, it backfire on the people that thought they were bringing them to bring a limelight, wasema ati watu wa Azimio walikuwa sijui wanawasaidia, because by the time hata wande kulala huko hivyo is after watoke waseme we don't agree with the zile zina the results that are about to be told or about to be announced. What if it comes to be proved that walikuwa wanasaidiwa wasiuliwe na walikuwa wanafichwa na familia zao? So when it comes to that, Julia, I want you to tell me, as the chair of this group, as we speak, what if it comes to say and it comes to prove that ni kutunzwa walikuwa wanatunzwa, and it comes to show that the server said otherwise from what they're trying to do? Then what? Julia, tell me, then what? Will we have made a stride in our country that we cannot have mafias and people that can actually change elections? But again, Raila sacrificed his presidency, and Uhuru also did, so that we have this, and so that we have answers, the most answers that we've never had. In fact, even Kibaki's answer that he was sworn in usiku. What if all this comes to make answers? Like even in the United States, we're going through the same thing, where Biden and the MAGA people, the January 6 people, right now they're making people are starting to understand what it is. So what if all this thing that is going on comes to open up and make us understand what happens and how elections are stolen in Kenya? How then where will we be? Will we be saying that these guys, I mean, will we say that Uhuru or Raila or Uhuru stole alidanganya Raila or whatever? But what if at this time finally we actually understand how elections are stolen in Kenya, and understand even how we ended up in ICC. Is that worth it or not worth it? So that from now on, we have credible elections in our country, so that the people are, when you are linking, I don't know if I'm asking the right questions. Maybe kuna Mama Megi, maybe I can see you know. Maybe because there's a bigger part of this thing that I don't know if people understand, because we run into this thing and we run into it so quick, saying that Uhuru lied, sijui nini, sijui Ruto won, na bado kuna makesi hapo hivi. We don't know. This is the first time that we've had mtu, I mean, within the first 100 days, people don't even know who won. And I've asked this, Julia, you know that I've asked here. If anyone can tell me, Mommy, wacha nimalize alafu ninyamaze. Wacha nimalize alafu ninyamaze. I've asked here in this forum so many times, tangu elections, where did Ruto get his elections? Na nimeuliza watu wa UDA, don't ask, siulizangi watu wa Azimio. Where did UDA, Ruto, get his votes from? And how many did he get? Alishinda na nini? Because we know the real votes. Na nimeuliza hapa, na every time nikiwauliza wanakimbianga, kina Black, kina nani, wote wanakimbiaga. They will never tell you where he got his votes. So what if we are tired of election malpractices, and right now we want to expose it, and it gets exposed?
Okay, Neto, I thank you. I don't know. Sorry, Neto, I haven't watched that the Cherera 4 thing, but I think people who have watched can tell us. Maybe we need to let Pogon comment, because he has been here for a long time. Then we can come back to you, Neto, and Stone PK and Maggie. Pogon, karibu.
Good morning. Yeah, napenda vitu yenye mko maswali yenye Ndeto anauliza. I think Ndeto nitakana ukae na hiyo swali kwa akili yako for like a day. Ujiulize kwanza, alafu kuja utulize vizuri, because sijakupata vizuri bado. So but mimi nilikuwa niko najaribu kusema ni, you know, this is not the first election yenye imeenda vile haikuwa imepangwa, haikuenda vile na matarajio ya Wakenya. In 2007 it was taken like, I think 2002 is only time yenye tulikuwa tuko na election yenye everybody was satisfied, and not because Raila hakuicontest, but kwa sababu tulikuwa tuko at a point yenye kila Mkenya ameamua this is really what we want, we are tired of Moi. When it came to 2007, we all saw what happened. 2013 we saw what happened. 2017 we saw what happened. Na tunaweza kuwa tulikuwa tumemtegemea Uhuru afanye makubwa kuliko yenye yeye mwenyewe angeweza. You know, politically, na tukisema siasa ile ya campaign ya kudanganya na kukoroga watu akili, Ruto is smart, na Ruto is a very handsome guy. Ruto anajaribu kila wakati ku get to the bottom of things, kuhakikisha down mpaka kwa ule mtu mwenye anasongesha kiti, he knows him even by name. So hii kiti vile amechukua, sioni kama kuna mchezo hapo hivyo. Sioni kabisa vile itakuwa Uhuru aliparticipate kujaribu at ile long con yenye Babu Owino anasema, ama yenye nasikia kusema sijui nani alinunuliwa. Remember, same Ruto alikuwa aliwahi contemplate the demise of the president. Unajua, we've seen people being slapped and died. So when you are imagining to slap a sitting president, that is like imagining the demise of a sitting president.
And then Pogon, and then he had the audacity to talk about it. He was
to
not
talk
apologetic.
about it. Exactly.
Yeah.
Actually, we did not even know about it. Most of us think about the death of anybody, but we don't talk about it, so nobody knows about it. Now, when he himself came and implicated himself, what did Uhuru do? Anaenda akasema simuliona, simulisikia, muliona. So Uhuru let a lot slide, na ikakuwa ni kama tu vitu ndogo ndogo. What happened in the end? We lost the seat. Na saizi tunakaa hapa hivi ni kama tunangojea kuna kitu yenye itakuja ifanyike. What happened when Kibaki took the seat? Ruto alikuwa anasoma. What happened 2013 when Uhuru alichukua kiti? Ruto alikuwa anasoma. He knew when this thing itatangaza tu I'm the
2013 hata
president.
sikusoma, Pogon, 2013 hata kusoma, he was in the plan.
Yeah, of course. He has always been in the mix of things, and na yeye bado amekuwa akitake notes yeye mwenyewe. Amekuja kugundua siku ile yenye Kibaki aliapishwa jioni. After kuapishwa nothing else changed. Hata wakisema ni kwenda kotini, kwenda wapi, nini, hiyo first declaration is what will suffice. So yes, si mjinga. Wajinga wamekuwa ni sisi wenye tumekuwa tukiangalia, tukiona vile Uhuru amekuwa kwa very soft. Hata akiwa anatusiwa yeye mwenyewe amekuwa akisema wachana na hawa wataongea na nini. I think watu wenye wamesurround Uhuru walikuwa wako captured kitambo sana na Ruto, so that Uhuru is thinking these people are working for him, but he actually wako na master wao mwenye ni Ruto. But now this thing is gone. This thing is so gone. Hata niko naangalia jana hiyo nini ya Mchelule. Imeenda tu. Nilikuwa naona jana walikuwa naoji huyu anaitwa nani, Marjan. Na wakioji Marjan maswali yenye anaulizwa mpaka inafika mahali Mchelule anaingilia, mpaka huyo Donald B. Korir akasema, kwani unataka kuchukua maswali? Kama unataka basi wewe endelea kumuuliza hiyo maswali, chukua hizo maswali, because mimi as a lawyer and cross examination is an art, na itapelekwa na lawyer vile lawyer ataona ikiwa iko fit. Hiyo ingine mambo na judgment na kuformulate judgment is up to huyo chair wa hiyo panel wa hiyo inaitwaje tribunal. Lakini Mchelule was like alikuwa anataka kuhakikisha amedrive also huyo cross examiner ambaye ni B. Korir apeleke Marjan vile yeye anataka. So what that shows is kuwa hiyo tribunal already is compromised, and it will just go like kama hizo zingine zote. People will suffer because tuli neglect vitu muhimu sana. Tuli relax when we were not supposed to relax. Tulianza ku rely on things zenye tukuwa tunatakana ku rely on, like I think Uhuru alikuwa anatakana kuwa pushed to take actions. Siku zile ilianza kuonekana kuwa
and also Pagan, comment on this. I don't like somebody is saying this here, and this thing was in Azimio. Actually, they have never seen a sitting president lose, and this talk came here so many times. Ati tuko na serikali. That was foolishness on our side. That was really
na tuko na serikali yenye ni serikali yenyewe ndio imeshinda. This is a continuation of Jubilee government, by the way. It's only kwa Jubilee anaitwa nani, Uhuru alitoka na a handful, the rest have been there. That's why I'm saying hawa watu wote walikuwa wako na boss ambaye ni Uhuru, but they were heeding the calls of his deputy Ruto. Ruto has been the deputy, and
even
the
likes of Kibicho, the likes of unaona hawa watu they were working for Ruto, and we are here walking around saying tuko na serikali, tuko na, alafu Ruto is the one who sold the word deep state. At deep state, he sold it to us, and people are here walking around saying that tuko na deep state. I mean, that was a wrong idea. Endelea.
Ruto to play by the way, hiyo mambo ya kusema ako na deep state. I remember alienda Chatham House na akasema serikali iko inapanga kuiba kura. What happened? He was the one planning exactly everything. Alikuwa anaanza kufanya ile reverse psychology. So mpaka inakuwa we are at a point we are at a point tunajaribu kujijustify how we are not even hatuhusiki na mambo ya kuiba kura. And what was he doing? His hand, not even hand, his whole arm was in the cooking jar.
For example, Pogon, unakumbuka mimi nilishangaa sana. First I had Waiguru saying
Toston PK hatusikizi, hajachukua kitusikiza for the longest. Toston PK arudi akikuja.
Unakumbuka Pogon, for we had during the day of the election, I had Waiguru say that the turnout was less than 50% in Mount Kenya region. Lakini nilishangaa Pogon kuona hata Nyanza ilikuwa 60, hata iko inafika 70. Mimi nikashangaa, what are we
67%.
doing? And then I was asking myself, Pogon, if there was rigging, I mean, why we didn't hear like Kisumu town, Raila had hundreds, thousands. I mean, sisi tulikaa tu kitako, sisi ni wazuri, sisi ni, unaona, hizo tulikuwa na some attitude there, tuko na serikali, endelea Pogon.
Yeah, so kuna vitu nyingi sana. In fact, there is a way that Ruto alikuwa na campaign to show like this thing is already gone with the government. So if you're thinking about mambo ya Azimio na nini, you can as well relax because this thing is already gone. That's why we had a lot of naye alikuwa anajua vitu yenye yako anaendelea kufanya huku hivi on the sides. Yeah. So yenye mimi nilikuwa niko nasema tu si hiyo mambo ya long con, me no, I'm not there. That's why even hata leo nilikuwa I was so curious kuangalia hiyo video yenye Alex. Nilikuwa niko nashindwa what is this? I really want to see it. Alafu naanza kusikia ni
yes, Pogo, that's why I'm saying this propagandist when you America, you see hii clip tumecheza saa hii na when you wanasema ati who played Raila, they are in the same boat. They are selling UDA propaganda. They are the ones selling UDA propaganda. Yes.
Yeah. Because hata ukisikiza mahali penye huyo mtu ana quote star na anonymous media. No. Tuwezi tukua tukienda tunabuy everything. No. Tutakula mpaka news GMO zenye zitatudhuru sisi wenyewe haziko. Na lazima tujaribu ku authenticate everything yenye sisi wenyewe tunazi-consume as information, because hii mambo ya sijui ati ya long con, long what, ama ati sijui ati kuna game yenye iko inakuwa played yenye tutakuja kuona kitu hapo mbele. This thing is so gone. It's gone just the way Kibaki was sworn in the evening and he remained the president to the end. Even now, unless now maybe something else, we do something else. I have no faith in the tribunals. I have no faith in anything coming in between now and 2027. And now and 2027 is just going to depend on the performance of Ruto, of which in the last 100 days yenye tulikuwa tunatakana kuwa tunamrate, ameprove kuwa yeye ako ready na he's been the one mwenye amekuwa akiaccumulate hizo dates zote. Because now, how can you explain that in just 100 days we are about or close or almost slightly over $1 trillion Kenya shilling mark ya deni? In 100 days, we have 100 things to complain about this government and zero to laud it for. Actually, mimi naweza tu nikashukuru na yeye ni kuwa alienda aka launch projects zenye zililaunchiwa na Uhuru, meaning there will be continuity in those 1, 2, 3 projects zenye zilikuwa launched already. So kwa hiyo kutakuwa, so mimi naweza mrate kama 0.001 kwa hiyo kwa performance yake in that 100 days, lakini kutoka hapo sioni kitu yote huko mbele. And it's not good for Kenya, because even though we did not win, at least we should be winning tuone Kenya ikisonga mbele. In 2002 we voted for Kibaki, we saw something. In 2007 we voted for Raila and Uhuru took it. We didn't get what we wanted, but at least even then we still saw something coming out of it. In 2013, we were almost not seeing anything, and then things started coming in. We saw some little progress. But from 2022 to 2027, the future is so bleak. I don't know. I don't see anything. There's no hope in, or actually kwa ile vitu yenye niko naona yenye ishafanyika saa hizi, I can project kusema huko mbele ni disaster tu iko inaendelea ku happen. How can you go ahead ku rewind wale watu wakubwa wote wenye wako na scandals zenye ziko out there glaring, kila mtu anaona tu hivi. Ukiangalia Aisha Juma, you just know it. Ukiangalia Mithika Linturi, you just see it. Ukiangalia tuko na mtu anaitwa Ferdinand Waititu was impeached na ndio yeye amerudishwa into public service again. What's this? So in the next 5 years we're just going to see disaster after another. Thanks.
Asante Pogon, that was a wonderful analysis, and that is why we need watu Azimio tuache hii propaganda tunauziwa. And it's me sometimes I think now if we are not careful, by the end of it UDA will be done with all of us. Like Wakikuyu, there's also another objective, Pogon. There are about 1 million Kikuyus who voted for Baba. Now, that propaganda against Uhuru is to take those people away. Like, nyinyi, these people in sasa hao watu wameuziwa hii story ati Uhuru played Baba, and now they are the ones talking about it. Ati Uhuru played Baba. So what happens to Baba sympathizers? Wanaenda when you are about Kenya, they'll go, and that's the objective. So you people, you come in here from Azimio talking about that, know that that is the objective, to scatter even the support that Baba had in Mount Kenya. That is the objective. And also hii kitu ya clip time ati